Good morning, Mama S here, and I wanted to make sure that that was going, and I don't have my glasses on because I got the glare, so it's just crazy. But Mama S here, and this is blog post number 38, Keeping Friends is Hard to Do. And I remember this day vividly because we're getting really close to our current life. And this post is all about the fact that our little precocious really struggles with friends. She can make friends with anybody. Like, honestly, if you put her in a room with anybody, any age, no matter what, she's gonna charm the pants right off of you. That is a lot to do with some personality quirks that she has, and her ability to socialize and kind of connect with anybody. So she's really great with that. Where the struggle is in maintaining friends. And this particular day that I was talking about, she was outside, she was hanging out with friends in our backyard. Everything was fine. I called out to her to come in the house, and she was sobbing. Like, she was devastated, she was crying, and we're like, what happened? Like, everything was fine. And she said that for some odd reason, some of the kids had thrown rocks at her. And we're like, okay, went through the series of that's never okay, like, because it's never okay to throw rocks at somebody. And we were trying to, after she calmed down, because when she was in a panic, there was no thinking. So the next day we're like, okay, so what happened leading up to that? And it was still such a traumatic experience. She wasn't able to reflect on it. But ultimately, this has happened before, not throwing rocks, but other acts of, in my case, thought process, extreme, like, we're mad at you kind of retaliation. And usually when we're around, we can figure out exactly what's going on, but Precocious has no concept of when she's saying things that are not appropriate. And so she will say things that are upsetting to people. She is extremely blunt, and she doesn't recognize when she's saying things that are upsetting people. So she can make friends like nobody's business, but then says and does things that kids get upset with, and then they don't want to be friends with her. So we cycle through friends in our household very, very quickly and very, very frequently. But because they're still in early middle school, they always come back. So it's always a rotation. Like, we see these two friends for a couple of weeks, and then they go away and we don't hear anything about them, and we're talking to these two friends for a week, and then we hear these two friends, and then these two friends, and then we're back to these friends, and then we're back to these friends, and like, it just continually cycles, because kids get over it, they move on, and they're willing to try again, and then something else happens. And so that's one of the things that you really have to understand about some kids that are in care, is they may not have learned how to be friends. And it's really hard to teach someone, especially older in life, how to be friends, because no 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old wants you sitting right next to them when their friends are there, coaching them on how to be friends. There are just some things that you have to talk about after the fact, and hope that the next time they have an interaction that they remember and that they give it a try and they kind of go with it. That's one of the hardest parts about parenting, whether they're your biological kids or foster kids or adopted kids, is them getting to an age where you just have to hopefully help them understand what's going on and pick up the pieces when they come back in crying. So we just live for those moments when things go really well and we can talk about it and high five and give giant hugs, because remember, it takes 12 hugs a day for growth. So there should be at least 12 hugs a day for each child in your home, and count them. It's a lot of hugs. But we just we live for that. So let us know your thoughts if your kiddos have a hard time making friends or keeping friends, and what sort of things that you do to help them be successful. I think everybody could definitely learn from that. So thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying, please share, and as always, please subscribe. Thank you.